Hello and welcome back to the Watford Way. Watford have sacked Rob Edwards as head coach and have appointed Slaven Bilic on an 18-month contract. Wow, 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 wow. I have many thoughts on this, I have to say. The news broke really suddenly early this afternoon. I think the Telegraph broke it first, Football Insider as well. Adam Leventhal come out to confirm, Andrew French at the Watford Observer. And finally, we have heard from Watford. They've released a statement on the website. Gino Pozzo, surprisingly, has also released a statement. So before I get into my thoughts on the situation, I'll read a couple of lines here from Gino Pozzo. And I have to say, I'm extremely pissed off about this situation. But before we get into my thoughts, we will, of course, read the couple of lines Gino Pozzo has put on the Watford website. And he says, as with all decisions taken by the board, I believe this change to be in the best interests of Watford Football Club, says Hornets owner Gino Pozzo. And then he goes on to say, we felt Rob had enough time. So he says, we felt they basically is saying there, we gave Rob enough time, in our opinion, which is quite frankly ridiculous, but we'll get onto that in a second. We felt Rob had enough time to show us the identity of his team. However, performances haven't reflected our hopes and ambitions. So there you go, 2 lines there from Gino Pozzo, basically saying, in his opinion, he gave Rob Edwards enough time to prove himself. In Gino Pozzo's opinion, Rob Edwards obviously didn't show enough there in the short time he was at Watford to prove himself. So he's decided to take the decision to sack him and bring in Slaven Bilic on an 18-month contract. Now, my opinion on this, firstly, is that I am now Pozzo out. I'm Pozzo out, Duxbury out, Gioretta out, whatever you want to say. I'm completely against this ownership and the ownership model and how we operate. I hate it. So let's clarify that first. This has kind of reinforced that decision for me. Secondly, where he says we felt Rob had enough time to show us the identity of his team, he had 11 games, he's a young head coach, and he wasn't backed in a transfer window. So actually, I don't think it's Rob Edwards' fault at all. I think a lot of the blame has to go on the board, the amount of money they gave Rob Edwards, the amount of control they gave Rob Edwards. And actually, it's just a ridiculous decision. And yes, of course, Slaven Bilic, don't get me wrong. He's a good head coach. He has got promoted before from the Championship. He's done well in the Premier League, of course, in his time at West Ham and various other clubs as well. I think for me, this is just a sign of the club panicking. Yes, the start's not been great. It's not been awful either. It's not been fantastic. I just think it's been a bit meh. And yes, we're sitting mid-table at the moment. We're only a few points off the playoff spots. So we're not in a perilous position. We're not about to get relegated. We're not in a perilous position as a club. According to them, our finances are absolutely fine. So from a fan's perspective, there shouldn't be a lot to worry about. But reading what's been said here and the way the club have acted, it does seem like the need and the urge to get promoted back to the Premier League at the first time of asking is quite apparent, because otherwise they would not have made this decision. Whether Gino Pozzo is looking to sell Watford and he's just waiting for us to get promoted to the Premier League to maybe increase the value, I think that might be something that he's looking to do, because I can't see any other reason why he would sack Rob Edwards. Everything that happened in the summer, Scott Duxbury coming out, with an interview with Andrew French in the Watford Observer, saying they would back Rob through hell or high water. Whatever happens, they'll stick by him, they'll back him in the transfer market, etc., etc. That clearly hasn't happened. Whether there's been a breakdown between Rob, the board, or Rob and the players, we've got no idea whatsoever. But it's clear to me the owners, the board, clearly thought it wasn't working. And they've decided to make a change. And obviously they own the football club. Us as fans can't do anything about the decision they've made. What we can do as fans is show our anger, show our emotions towards the decision in the ground, whether that be protests, booing. We can show our distaste in this decision, but I think we have to do that in a non-violent, peaceful way. We can't have fans trying to attack Scott Duxbury, Gino Pozzo, etc. I think that's the wrong way to go about things. But what I will say is I am Pozzo out, I am Duxbury out, I am Gioretta out, whatever you want to say. It's a ridiculous decision. I'm really angry. Slaven Bilic has accepted this job. Why he's accepted this job, I don't know. I've got no idea why Slaven Bilic has accepted this job, but fair play to him. He's signed an 18-month contract. And yeah, you know, I don't know what else to say really. It just comes as a bit of a shock. It feels like a family member has died almost, because Rob Edwards, you know, was doing okay in my opinion. He wasn't doing fantastically well. He wasn't doing really badly. He was just doing okay. You know, maybe if we got to Christmas, January, February time, maybe if it was going badly at that point, then you could look to make a change. But 11 games in, Watford sitting mid-table, a couple of points off the playoff spots. In my opinion, I thought he was doing an okay job, and from the Watford board's perspective, they obviously thought otherwise. So yeah, I'm just absolutely shocked, absolutely surprised. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. It's great to be back on YouTube, of course, not in the way I would have liked, talking about this sad news. But yeah, I'll just finish off by saying, you know, I wish Rob Edwards and his staff all the best for the future. Really, really nice guy. I met him at the ground a couple of times, and he comes across really, really well. He loves to chat to you. In the media, he comes across really well. You know, at the end of games, away games, home games, he always goes round and claps the fans. So yeah, you know, I'm just absolutely baffled by this decision. I'm sure 99% of you agree with me. I'd be thoroughly shocked if you didn't agree with what I just said there. And yeah, I suppose we just have to move forward with Slaven Bilic. And yeah, when we get the opportunity to protest or at the ground boo the board, I don't know what we're going to do. I'm sure someone will organise something. But yeah, I'm not very happy at all. As always, please like the video, please comment your thoughts, and please subscribe to the Watford Way as well, as we head into yet another new era at Watford under Slaven Bilic. And of course, we play Stoke City on Sunday, so we'll be previewing that game as well. But apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time for another video. Bye-bye.